What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Eternal Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob, and this is our pay-per-view for August 1st, Event Horizon. We got 5 matches on tap for you guys, and we got the world titles on the line. Finn Balor is taking on Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. The Outsiders, we've got the Vanguard Championship, our mid-card title. Damian Priest is defending against Seth freaking Rollins and Penta. We also got DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, taking on Randy Orton, and even Kane taking on Jon Moxley, along with a fatal 4-way elimination match to crown our new #1 contenders, who will go on to face the Hardys for the tag team titles. And our opening match of the night, out first, the lights go down in the arena. The crowd gets quiet. They know what this means. The music hits on the speakers. I hear voices in my head. They talk to me. They understand. And out comes the Viper, the apex predator, Randy Orton. He makes that slow walk down the entrance ramp. Some people are booing loudly. Some people are cheering. They know this is one of the most dangerous wrestlers within the Reckoning brand. Commentary even says that for weeks now, Randy Orton, he's made DDP's life a living hell. DDP had to watch his back, look over his shoulder, as it seems that Orton is back to his legend killer motives and ways. After Orton enters the ring, the arena explodes as self-high five. DDP walks out, but he's not smiling tonight. Usually he's all energy, diamond cutter, hand gesture, crowd interaction, but not tonight. He's calm, he's focused, he's ready for this fight. And as he gets to the top of the entrance ramp there, he stares at Orton in the ring. And Orton only smirks, because he knows he's gotten into the head of DDP here. But once both men are in the ring, the bell sounds, and Orton immediately goes after the injured pride of DDP. No feeling out process. Hard kick to the ribs, forearm to the face, a second kick. Orton, he's in control here. DDP, he tries to fire back with some punches, but Orton cuts him off with a knee to the stomach, and the Viper starts to dissect his prey. He drives DDP into the corner. He starts stomping away. Not wild stomps here, very calculated. Orton, he really wants to dissect DDP. DDP, he tries to get out of the corner, and he's kind of crawling on his hands and knees to try to get up. Orton smashes down with his heel onto the hands, the fingers of DDP, even going after the shoulders of Page here. Anything, every little thing to prevent DDP from getting momentum. The referee, he starts to warn Orton off, like, hey, let the man get up a bit. You're taking this too far. You're in the corner. Let him up. And Randy, he backs away with a smug little grin, because he knows exactly what he's doing here. And now Orton, he slows the pace down. He gets a headlock on DDP, a chin lock even. DDP, he's trying to fight back, but Orton just drags him down to the canvas, really slowing down, wearing down DDP. And the crowd, they start clapping, they start chanting, DDP, DDP, DDP. They're rallying behind Page here, trying to breathe some energy into him here, trying to breathe some life. But Orton, he chuckles. He smiles, looking out at the crowd. He changes positions, and he wraps his arms around DDP's neck, looking to tighten like the Viper that he is. And the commentary team, they notice, look at this. He's trying to make Page pass out. He's trying to make him tap. And eventually, DDP, his eyes, they start flickering. They almost close, and his hand drops onto the canvas. The referee checks. He lifts his arm up once, twice, for a third time. No, DDP, he barely moves. And then Orton releases the hold. Not because he has to, but because he wants to here. He's looking to make DDP feel the anguish. He wants him to feel what's coming next. And Orton, he backs into the corner. The crowd knows. Everybody knows what he's wanting to do here. And he's setting it up. He's looking for that punt kick. He wants to kick the head off the shoulders of the legend here. DDP, once he gets his bearings about him a little bit, he's on his hands and knees. And Orton, he taps his foot. He's in the corner. He's ready to run, ready to strike. The entire arena, they get quiet. He charges for the punt kick. No, DDP, he moves, and Orton is too late. And he turns around to a big discus clothesline, flipping Orton inside out. The crowd erupts, and DDP, he rolls over. Both men are exhausted, and Orton, the air is just knocked out of him from that sudden clothesline maneuver. Page, he ends up being the first one to his feet, and now this fight is starting to take a change. DDP, he starts throwing bombs here. No more wrestling, no technique, anger, punch after punch, kick after kick. And Orton, he tries backing away, but Page is chasing him on top of him. He whips Orton into the corner, runs in, big clothesline. Orton, he drops down, sitting on that second turnbuckle within the corner. DDP grabs him, body shots right to the ribs. Over and over, the crowd starts chanting, 1, 2, 3, 4. DDP, he backs away. He turns his back on Orton. He raises his hands in that diamond-shaped position. He's signaling that taunt. He's signaling for the diamond cutter. The building explodes. The crowd, they're on their feet. They're ready to see DDP hit that move. But Orton rises, and when DDP turns around, RKO out of nowhere, the ref drops down as Orton covers him. 1, 2. No. No. DDP, he got his foot on the bottom rope just in time. The referee saw it, and the match continues. But Orton, he can't believe it. And he gets right up into the face of the referee. He's screaming, spits flying, he's furious here. He's heated. You count 3, ref. Him and the referee, they're arguing back and forth. And when Orton turns around, DDP hits a drop toe hold. Orton falls, totally clotheslining himself on the top rope, and he's grabbing his throat. He's coughing here. DDP, he sees the opening. He rolls out, and he leans against the steel steps. He needs a second. He's breathing in. He's trying to get some air in his lungs, trying to get his wits about him as this match continues on. But Orton sees him. Orton rolls out of the ring, and he runs, charging as fast as he can, looking for another punt kick. DDP moves, and Orton's shin crashes into the steel steps. The sound echoing throughout the arena. All this momentum. Orton flips over the steps and crashes onto the floor. The crowd gasps. DDP, he grabs him, and he's looking for some revenge. So he smashes Orton's head onto the barricade at ringside, nearest the entrance stage. Not once, not twice, 3 times. And they move towards the entrance ramp here, towards the bottom of the entrance ramp. And DDP, he knows what he wants. He lifts up Orton, and he hits the diamond clash, body, flesh, smashing on top of the steel, thunderous thud. The crowd loses it. They're excited. Orton's down. And since these men have been fighting on the outside, the referee, he starts to count. Here, Diamond Dallas Page, he makes it into the ring way before Orton does. And the referee, he's counting 7, 8, 9, and Orton barely slides in the ring. DDP can't believe it. And he knows he's going to have to pull even further into his bag of tricks to get this win. So Page, he climbs to the top rope. The crowd rises. He jumps off for a diving knee drop on Orton. No, Orton moves. DDP crashes onto the canvas. Now the Viper, he sees his opening. And he goes after that knee. He's kicking, he's stomping, he's targeting the damage. Orton, he's back in control. So as we get closer to the finish of the match here, Orton, he lifts DDP. DDP, he's still got some fight in him. Punching. He's breaking free. He runs, but Orton catches him with a big RK. This is 2 here. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, kick out. And Orton's shocked. He's clawing at his scalp. He is furious because he's throwing everything that he has at the legend here. But DDP still is fighting away. And he goes for another punt because DDP, he's looking rough here towards the end of this match. Orton runs. DDP rolls out of the way. Orton, he almost falls down himself, tripping himself up almost. He turns around. DDP grabs him. The crowd knows what's coming next. Diamond cutter. Boom. Slamming Orton's head into the canvas. DDP hooks a leg. 1, 2, 3. DDP wins. The arena erupts. But DDP, he lies on the mat. He's exhausted, and he doesn't celebrate immediately. He looks up because he knows it. He survived after weeks of being hunted. After the embarrassment and the mind games from Orton, DDP got his revenge tonight. Our commentary goes on to say that, you know what, Orton, he was looking to end DDP's career tonight, but Diamond Dallas Page, he proved something that has defined him his entire career. He is resilient, and he will not stay down. Next up is our number 1 contenders match for the tag team titles, a fatal 4-way elimination match. The lights flash. The screen shows 4 teams, 4 different styles, different motivations. But tonight, no shortcuts here, no weapons, no stealing pins. Only one team will survive. And the winners will earn a shot at the Hardys and the tag team titles within the coming weeks, or maybe if they choose at the next pay-per-view. First out is the team of Rhythm and Blues, the Honky Tonk Man, and Greg the Hammer Valentine. And this duo, they get a decent reaction. They come out, they're looking confident, they're soaking in the atmosphere, and they're realizing that this could be their last big chance to prove they still belong at the top and that they still have it. Then, super kick party! The Young Bucks hit the stage. Matt, Nick Jackson, they pose. They're flexing their muscles, full of arrogance. They are former tag team champions in our series. They know who they are, and they don't need an opportunity. They feel like they deserve one. And Nick, he looks in the camera. The division goes through us. And next up, the Motor City Machine Guns. Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, Motor City. No flashy nonsense, no ego here. Some of the best pure tag team wrestling in the world. And once they get into the ring, then it is Jurassic Express. The arena lights up. Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, the youngest tag team in this match, the least experienced, but they are hungry. They want a shot at the Hardys. They want the go as a team that some people may say is the future of this series, but they want to prove that they belong in the present conversation. So it's elimination rules. All 4 teams start here. So one member of each team, you can only eliminate someone by pinfall or submission. Chaos immediately happens. No waiting, no slow feeling out. Everyone knows one mistake can end their night. And the Young Bucks, they go after Jungle Boy here. They see him as the biggest threat. Matt and Nick, they're tagging in and out. They're isolating him. Quick tags here, double teams, a series of kicks. And they even mock Luchasaurus, who's on the apron, which turns out to be a big mistake because when Luchasaurus is able to tag in, the crowd explodes and he clears the ring. Big boot to Nick Jackson, close slam attempt to Matt, and the Bucks barely escape here. So Rhythm and Blues, once things settle down, they start using their veteran instincts here. They want to slow the match down, and they attack whoever's weakest. They even are able to get Nick Jackson with a combination, a running elbow, a backbreaker. They go for a cover. 1, 2, kick out. The Bucks are looking frustrated here. They want to wrestle the match their way, so they decided they need to speed things up. But that's their mistake, because Honky Tonk Man and Greg the Hammer Valentine, they keep cutting them off here. Eventually, the Young Bucks, they're able to get their opening. Nick, he catches one half of the Rhythm and Blues with a super kick. Matt follows up another super kick. They hit their famous combination, go for the cover on Honky Tonk Man. 1, 2, 3, and Rhythm and Blues are eliminated. The Bucks are happy, but they can't celebrate too long as the Motor City Machine Guns have them within their sights. So Shelley and Sabin, they immediately go after the Young Bucks here. This starts to become a technical masterpiece of wrestling. Every move has an answer. Every counter seems to have another counter. And the crowd starts appreciating this chess match between these two teams. Matt tries a super kick. Sabin, he catches a leg, dragon screw. Nick dives in, and Alex Shelley, he catches him a big arm drag. The Machine Guns, they're firing on all cylinders. They isolate Nick. Quick tags, keeping each other fresh. Chops, kicks, even a submission attempt. And Nick, he's trapped. Matt Jackson, he's reaching out desperately for his brother, and the crowd thinks the Bucks might be done here. But Nick, he survives. Barely. The Young Bucks, they refuse to stay down. They hit everything. Stereo dives, double knees, super kicks, and the crowd is on their feet. They attempt a Meltzer driver, but Alex Shelley, he sees it coming. He shoves Matt off the ropes, and Nick crashes down alone. This is the time for the Motor City Machine Guns to capitalize. They use a double team maneuver, go for the cover. 1, 2, 3. The Bucks are eliminated in a huge moment. The cocky favorites, they're gone here. And our last 2 remaining teams, the Motor City Machine Guns and Jurassic Express. Now it's a battle between experience, veteran instinct, and youth, technique, and power. Machine Guns, they try to isolate Jungle Boy as he is the youngest here. And they know Luchasaurus is the difference maker. His size, his power is all it's really going to take to maybe, flip the script here on this. So by keeping Jungle Boy away, they're breaking him down, isolating him, trying to wear him out, till finally Jungle Boy, he's fighting from underneath, and he's taking everything. Forearms, kicks, suplexes, but every time he gets his momentum, Sabin cuts him off. And the crowd starts chanting, Jungle Boy, Jungle Boy, until finally he gets that hot tag, and Luchasaurus gets in the ring, and he goes ham. The building erupts. He runs through both men. Big boot, choke slam, tail whip. The Machine Guns, they're overwhelmed by this giant dinosaur, but also they're smart and they avoid the knockout blow here. They target the legs of Luchasaurus and they try to slow him down. Eventually, we get towards the closing of the match. Luchasaurus, he's taken out of the equation and Jungle Boy is alone. Sabin goes for a pin attempt. 1, 2, Jungle Boy kicks out because he's a legal man here. And Alex Shelley, he's looking shocked. They attempt a double team maneuver. Jungle Boy counters. He slips free. Saban smashes into Shelly. Jungle Boy tags in Luchasaurus once more. The big man is back. And they hit their finisher on the Motor City Machine Guns. Go for the cover. 1, 2, 3. And your winners, Jurassic Express. The crowd, they're excited. They're celebrating. And the Hardy Boys, they appear on the entrance stage. They raise their tag team titles high, and they nod from one generation to another. The message is clear. The future of the tag team division is coming for the gold. Next up is our Vanguard Championship match, a triple threat match as Damian Priest looks to retain his championship against former Vanguard champion Seth Rollins and Penta. So the atmosphere, it changes in the arena here. Yes, the excitement of Jurassic Express getting their opportunity, that was amazing, but now a graphic appears as the Vanguard Championship situation is announced. And this title, not only is it a workhorse title, but it's a symbol of being the best within this company, within the Reckoning brand. And tonight, it's not just about a championship, but this is a match involving 3 men who want to win for 3 completely different reasons. First out is our champion, Damian Priest. He walks out slowly. All rise. His song plays. No arrogance, no theatrics here, just confidence. And once he's in the ring, he takes his title off and he holds it high because he remembers how he won by defeating Seth Rollins. And he knows tonight that everybody is coming for him. Our commentary team goes on to say that Damian Priest, he's proven he can beat Seth Rollins. But with tonight, it is different. He's not just chasing a championship. He's got to defend it. Next out, burn it down. Seth freaking Rollins. He comes out. The pyro's popping off, but he walks out. That cocky edge isn't exactly there tonight. He looks locked in because he is a man who's carried this championship before, and he believes that it should have never left his waist. And as he's making his way down to the entrance ramp, he's pointing at Priest, saying that you are holding my title. And once Seth gets to the ring, the lights cut, and out comes Penta, Zero, Yellow. And his eyes are glued on Seth Rollins as his entrance happens, and he makes his way down. This isn't exactly about the championship for Penta. It's about what Seth has done. And we see some quick little videos playing that Seth and Penta, they were a makeshift tag team. There was the loss, and with Seth blaming Penta for that loss and stomping Penta's head within the canvas. And even when they had their one-on-one match, Seth stole a victory by using pepper spray on the luchador here. Our commentating team says that Penta, he's been waiting for this moment, for another chance to take down Seth Rollins, because he doesn't want Seth to just walk away from this match. He wants him to know pain and to suffer. So Penta, he enters the ring. Him and Seth are really staring at each other. And Priest, he stands between them. And the champion knows exactly what this match is going to be. Good. So immediately Seth, he tries to use the chaos to his advantage. And he tries to slide out of the ring. The crowd boos. Priest looks annoyed. But Penta doesn't hesitate. He dives through the ropes straight at Seth. And they collide on the outside. Forearms, kicks, chops, smashing each other into the barricade. Every strike has months of anger behind it. Weeks of revenge and vengeance. Seth tries to escape, but Penta follows him, and eventually Priest joins in on this. He grabs both men, big double clothesline, and the champion starts to take control. So Priest, he wants to remind everyone why he's the champ. He throws Seth across the ring. He catches Penta with a big running boot, and he starts to dominate both of these challengers. He whips Seth into the corner, runs big splash, and he turns around with Penta coming right at him, and hits a big spinning kick. The crowd starts to realize that, Damian, he's just not holding the title, he's defending it here, and he's trying to shut out any doubters that there may be. But suddenly Seth and Penta, they try to work together briefly, but neither one really trusts the other here. And it lasts only a few seconds, a few fleeting moments. Seth immediately tries attacking Penta from behind. Penta, he sees it coming. He unloads on Seth. So a little further in the match, Seth, he's mocking Penta with a little, Zero Miro, his hand taunt, doing that towards Penta. You were never on my level. He's yelling it into the face of Penta, and that cost him because Penta explodes. Quick strikes, kick after kick. He looks for a Penta driver attempt. Seth escapes, super kick, and Penta falls down. And Seth, he's looking for that stomp, but Penta gets out of the way. And Seth almost crashes into Priest as Priest grabs him. Big south of heaven choke slam. Goes for the cover. 1, 2. Ooh, Seth barely kicks out in time. Barely kicks out. Now, Damian, he's in control. once more, and he starts picking people apart. He lifts Penta up for a razor's edge. Penta slips out. Penta hits a kick, and Priest, he staggers. Seth comes flying in, and all three men look exhausted here. Priest and Seth trade shots back and forth. The crowd is split. Some are cheering for Rollins, some for Priest, and Priest, he's wanting to prove he's the rightful champion. Seth wants redemption. Finally, Seth gets an opening. Priest turns around, Seth charges, big stomp. Priest's head is just crashing into the mat, and the arena goes silent. Seth sits up for a moment, and he realizes what he's did. He takes a look around at the crowd. He's taking out the champion, the man who beat him for the title, the man who embarrassed him, and he smirks. He thinks he's got this match won. The commentator team says, no, Seth, he thinks he's already won the match, but he needs the pin. He needs the pin. He needs to get the victory here. And Seth, he stands over Priest, and he looks to the corner. He wants more. He wants more carnage. He wants to make a statement. And Seth, he gets into position. He's looking for another stomp. And he is dead-eyed on Priest. So focused on proving he's better than Priest. But he forgets something. So he charges once more towards Damian Priest, looking for that stomp. But Priest rolls out of the way, barely in time. And Penta was already on the top rope. He takes advantage of this. Penta grabs him, top rope, Mexican Destroyer, and the entire arena explodes. Seth crashing down from the impact on the canvas. Priest is still down from the previous stomp. Penta's down. Everybody is down. The referee checks all three men, and then we see a hint of life, a hint of movement. Penta, he's crawling, slowly crawling. He reaches Seth. He hooks a leg. 1, 2, 3. Ding, 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 ding. Here is your winner and new Vanguard champion. Penta. The bell sounds and he sits up slowly. He can barely believe it himself. The crowd, they're chanting, Penta, Penta, Penta. He grabs the Vanguard championship, the championship that Seth wanted, that Seth thought he was entitled to, but now it is Penta's. And Penta, he grabs the title in his hands, and he looks at it, and he pushes it slowly into the face of Seth, adding a little insult to injury there. But he's not arrogant. He knows that this wasn't just a championship victory. This was revenge. So Penta, he climbs to the top turnbuckle, holding that title high. Damian, he's shown on the outside. He's annoyed with what happened. He's beaten down, and Penta leaves the ring, but the camera then pans back to Rollins. He's sitting in the corner. He's sweaty, exhausted. He's human. And for the first time tonight, he looks a bit lost. Then a familiar voice plays, or is heard. Well, well, well. The crowd erupts. Hollywood Hogan, the former world champion. He comes out. Isn't the colorful Hogan, though. Solid black attire. And he's looking serious here. He walks down to the ring, and he looks at Seth. Not as like a fan, but someone who sees potential. He says, I've been watching you, Seth. The talent, the heart, the fight. You remind me of myself, brother. And the crowd reacts because Hogan, he extends out his hand. You don't need to be fighting alone. And Seth stares at him as he gets to his feet, and a long pause happens. Crowd, they're waiting, and Seth, he grabs the mic out of Hulk's hand. He looks directly into Hogan's eyes. You can take your offer, he pauses, and shove it. The crowd erupts, and Seth drops the mic, shoulder checks Hogan, and he gets out of the ring limping. Hogan watches him leave, and he smiles here, because maybe Seth rejecting him is exactly what he wanted. Next up, the big red machine Kane is taking on Jon Moxley. So the crowd, they're still buzzing as we got a new Vanguard Championship winner tonight. So the lights go down. No music, no flashy video package, darkness. Then a single spotlight shows down. Jon Moxley, he makes his way to the ring through the crowd. No crazy theatrics, no smile. He's wanting a fight. He's looking forward to a fight. This is going to be a battle of which man is more dangerous. So he gets into the ring. And then a rumble fills the arena. The lights turn dark red. The crowd rises. And out comes Kane. Wet hair, the full mask, the full bodysuit, the red and the black, 90s coded, and Kane, he wants to destroy Moxley. Moxley busted him open a few weeks back, and this has just set something off in Kane that cannot be described. And once the bell rings, Moxley charges in, no hesitation, forearms, knees, punches. He backs Kane in the corner, and he just keeps unloading. unloading, aggression. The ref has to get in between both men and separate them. Moxley refuses. Kane shoves him away, and Moxley smiles because he wants this. He wants a fight. He wants to make sure Kane will not back down at all. Kane throws that big first shot, clothesline that just turns Moxley inside out. And the crowd, they're off their feet. They just can't believe it. Kane doesn't celebrate. He grabs Moxley, starts dismantling him here. Since he is the bigger man, he's using his size advantage. A sidewalk slam, big running, rushing corner clothesline. Even hitting a big boot on Moxley. But Jon Moxley, he keeps Kid back to his feet. And every time Kane drops him, Moxley rises. He even does the motion like, come on, is that all you got? Is that it? And no matter what Kane throws at Jon Moxley, Moxley keeps getting up, walking directly into the line of fire. Eventually, Kane grabs Moxley by the throat. Choke slam, slamming him down. Or so Kane thought. Moxley turns this into a sleeper hold type of maneuver, and Kane fights. He's fighting here. Moxley has this cinched in, and it looks like the big man is starting to fade. The big red machine may be fading. Moxley, he's squeezing tighter. But Kane powers out, and he throws Moxley across the ring. Moxley's thudding on his back here. So Kane, he's cornering Moxley. Heavy punches. Moxley firing back. Two men, they stand in the middle of the ring, trading shots. The crowd is loving it. No real technique here. Just a good brawl for all it's worth. No man is refusing to back down. And Kane, he gets the advantage here. He lifts up Moxley. But Moxley slips from behind, elbow to the head, and another, and Kane, he staggers. Moxley charges in, and Kane catches him in the tombstone position. The crowd, they're erupting. Moxley's in trouble. As Kane lifts, Moxley escapes, and with all this happening, Moxley turns this into a paradigm shift, and Kane crashes out. Goes for a pinfall. Moxley on Kane. 1, 2, big kick out from the big red machine, and Moxley almost can't believe it. The crowd explodes. Moxley's looking frustrated here, and he starts stomping on Kane, and Kane slowly rises like a wraith from the grave. Moxley keeps attacking him though, but Kane grabs him again in a sudden chokehold type of position. Moxley's eyes, they widen. Kane lifts him up, choke slam on Moxley, goes for the cover. 1, 2, Moxley kicks out. Now Kane looks a little surprised here. Neither man can really believe what's happening, or that the other still has this much fight in them. So Kane, he does something he's not usually known for. He goes to the top rope, and he leaps for a flying clothesline on Moxley. He moves. Kane comes crashing down, and Moxley immediately attacks like a rabid animal. He sees the opening, and he grabs Kane. Another paradigm shift attempt, but Kane fights back, looking for another tombstone. Moxley counters, using a knee, a forearm, kick to the gut. Moxley hooks him, paradigm shift. 1, 2, 3, and your winner. Jon Moxley wins this one. He doesn't celebrate here. He sits on the mat. He's breathing heavily, and he's looking at Kane. Because he knows he survived the big red machine. And the commentary team kind of puts this pretty perfectly here. Moxley didn't beat Kane by being stronger. He beat Kane because he was willing to go to places nobody else would. And eventually Kane does sit up afterwards, and he stares at Moxley, and they just stare at each other for a moment and nod, looking like a sign of respect. Two monsters, if you will, acknowledging that each one is dangerous. And now it is main event time, and this match is for our World Championship. Our champion Finn Balor is defending against Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. The final match of the evening, and the lights go down. The World Championship graphic appears across the screen. 4 weeks Finn Balor was hunted, attacked by masked men, ambushed backstage, and nobody seemed to know who was behind it. Some footage plays of events happening previous weeks. Finn, he was demanding answers after the attack. And then the outsiders appeared. You don't have to fight alone. They offered their help to the prince, to the world champion. Finn was cautious, but he knew that there's strength in numbers. An tag team match was made. So Finn and the outsiders were going to take on the mystery attackers, but masked men never showed. And while the arena waited, Finn stood alone. And the outsiders revealed their true motives here, that they were the attackers. They orchestrated it all from the beginning, and they revealed a reason. They helped Finn beat Hollywood Hogan at Malice in that ambulance match, saying, "We made you. Now it's time to pay." So Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, they come out together. No rushing, no fear. Looking like two men who have already won the world title. They don't even look at the crowd, because in their mind, each one of them is the world champion. And now comes our World champion Finn Balor, the champion, walks out. He's alone, no backup, no advantage, just him against one legendary tag team. And even though they are tag team partners, only one man can walk out as world champion. And commentary goes on to say that while the outsiders do believe that Finn owes them, Finn believes that nobody owns his success but himself. So immediately, Hall and Nash use their weapon, their greatest weapon, if you will, each other. They don't need to tag in this match, and they've got so much experience that they cut Finn down. Nash throws Balor across the ring. Hall follows with a big right hand. Finn, he's trying to use his speed, but trying to drop kick Nash. Another drop kick, and Finn, he tries to create some separation here, but Nash catches him. Big fall-away slam, and the champion is not looking to be in the best spot here. So the tide starts to turn, and not in the favor of our world champion. Hall and Nash, they dominate. They're mocking Finn, mocking his prince persona, and telling him, "You're welcome." Every attack seems to have a message behind it, seems to have a motive. Nash powerbombing Finn. Hall goes for the cover. 1, 2, kick out. And Hall smiles. Scott smiles here because they expected that. They want Finn to fight. They want him to understand how impossible of a task this is. How are you going to take down both of the outsiders and keep the title? But Finn, he's not staying down. And he's firing back. Forearms to Hall. Kicks to Nash. Running drop kick sends Kevin Nash spilling over the top rope. And it looks like Finn Balor's gaining some momentum. Finally here. And he climbs. He's looking for a coup de grace to a knockdown Scott Hall. He hits it, goes for the cover, but Nash grabs the referee before he can get a 3 count, and Finn is furious. He turns around, and Hall is able to get a low blow, attacking him from behind, and the outsiders are once again back in control. We're looking towards the closing moments of this match. Finn Balor, he's exhausted. This is basically a handicap match, and things are not looking good for the world champion. So the outsiders are taking turns beating him down, destroying him. Nash sets him up, Hall with a big boot. Finn collapses. Nash tries for the pinfall attempt this time. 1, 2, Finn kicks out. Hall and Nash, they look stunned for a moment. The champion is live, but barely here. They're arguing, they're blaming each other. Hall says, "You should have let me cover," and they're just arguing who should have hit harder, so on and so forth. They get Finn up. Scott Hall, he whips Finn in towards Kevin Nash. The plan is obvious. Nash is waiting, looking for a big boot to take off the head of the prince, but Finn, he drops. He reads it. He ducks, and that big boot connects with Scott Hall, and Scott Hall goes flying over the top rope, spilling to the outside, crashing into the side of the commentary table. He does not look too good here. Kevin Nash turns around. Finn is ready. Drop kicks to the knees, taking Nash down, runs, hits the rope, big sling blade. Nash is down, and Finn climbs. The crowd rises to their feet. This is everything. Survival and proving if he belongs, proving if he really deserves this world title. He jumps. Coup de grace. Connects, smashing into Kevin Nash. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Our winner and still world champion, Finn Balor. The arena explodes. But Finn, he lies on the mat. He's exhausted. He doesn't immediately celebrate. The ref gives him the championship, and he stares at it for a moment, because this was not just another title defense. This was the night that everybody tried to convince the prince that he did not belong at the mountaintop. The outsiders claim they created him, but Finn proved that they didn't. They may have helped him once. They did not make him. Finn made himself, and he slowly rises, and he holds up that world title above his head, and the show goes off air with our world champion standing tall. And that is going to be it for this pay-per-view Event Horizon. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll catch you Tuesday for another episode of Reckoning as we keep storylines advancing. And hey, we got a new Vanguard champion, Penta. We got new #1 contenders to face the Hardys, Jurassic Express. Anything can happen here on the Eternal Wrestling Podcast.